What's up, Map Squad? Map here. Okay, so what's up, gang? Just checking in with y'all. So I've had a crazy past couple of days. I mean, we're talking about personal growth. Can't talk today. We're talking about personal growth and change. And I mean, you could see first thing in the morning, going for a walk. Why? Because I feel like crap today. And that makes it all the more important that I go out, get some fresh air, move around a little bit, and not have that victim mentality of, oh, I feel like shit right now, oh, my day stops. You can't do that shit. Life doesn't care that you don't feel 100% and that you feel 75. So if I'm a little bit under the weather compared to my last video, that's why. But so I've had a crazy past couple of days. So I was thinking, and I was like, so if you watched any of my previous videos, the really fucking boring ones, you'll know that my wife beat the crap out of me and got arrested for domestic battery and resisting arrest. And she's from Taiwan. She's here on a victim's visa from her past ex, who I guess beat the shit out of her almost to death. And now, so 10 days ago we moved. So we were in the middle of a move, and she just absolutely 2 days, after we start moving the stuff, she just goes off, just starts beating the shit out of me. And it was over the pettiest thing ever. I swear to God, guys, it was over my clothes. I'm not even playing with you. So I'm kind of relatively new to Tampa. So I'm in the process of getting hired at a job. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to say where. But it is like a fine dining luxury resort type job as a server. And I was picking out my interview clothes. And the interview was open interviews from 10 to 1. And I was planning on going in at 10:30, which to me is acceptable. I'm not first there, fashionably late type thing. So she gets enraged with me and just freaking, what? No, it's 10 and this and that. You're going at 10. And I'm like, yo, chill. It's not 15, I'll be there by 10. Don't even stress about it. Don't even worry. You adapt. That's another thing, guys. Adapt whenever shit goes wrong. I was thinking 10:30. Guess what? I'd gotten early enough that if it was 9:30, I could have gone. And that's also a nice point that I want to make to you guys. Add extra time gaps. People overestimate what they can do in a day, and they underestimate what they can do in a year. So just add extra time in your day. Slow your days down and build a routine. So back to the story. She tells me, hey, you're going at 10. I'm like, whatever, I'm going at 10. Whatever you want, just stop yelling. And I start getting dressed. She goes off, doesn't like my clothes. I'm like, yo, chill. And then pick out a different outfit. She goes off again. I'm like, yo, chill. I pick out another outfit. She hates it. She's like, are you effing with me or what? And I'm like, yo, you really need to chill right now, because at this point she's red in the face, vein popping out. And I'm like, you really need to chill. We just moved. My clothes are in boxes. I'm trying here. And I was like, instead of yelling at me, why don't you just open them and help me look and stuff? And when I said that, I kind of said, before saying that, I was like, yo, Sonny, chill. Like that. And to her, that's screaming at her, right? So that set her off. And I bent down and I literally picked up a pair of pants, a shirt, and I was standing up to say, "Do you like this one?" And as soon as that left my mouth, all of a sudden I felt impact on this side of my face. Boom! I'm like blinded, then boom, 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 boom. To make the story short, she absolutely knocks the crap out of me, guys. So then she gets afraid because I want to leave. I'm trying to run away. She pulls a knife out, stands at the door, says she's gonna stab me if I leave. I draw my gun, hold her at gunpoint, and start videotaping, saying if you charge at me with a knife, I have to shoot. Like, so already it's a crazy ass situation. And then, yeah, just so you know, she's a victim of abuse. I'm not gonna say what kind, but grapes and, you know, also you know, traffic, grape traffic, you know, so that's why and I've been kind of working with her to like stop suppressing it, and demons are roaring their heads up, so to speak, and she like had disassociates sometimes, and she disassociated, started beating the shit out of me and just wouldn't stop. And well, then I have her gun pointing at the video camera at this point, and I'm like, yo, please stop, put the knife away, everything like that. Like, I don't want this. Like, I don't. Like, and she puts the knife away. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, shit, dude. Like, this is like code red. Somebody could die. Like, I need to call the cops right now. I was like, she needs help, or I need to get out because she's not letting me leave. And I'm gonna fucking die, or she is, if we stay here. And it gets worse, believe it or not. So I have a Glock, and there's no safety on it. And I keep mine chambered always. I don't got no kids, nothing like that. And I live in Tampa, which is absolutely gunshots every night. So I usually don't walk out the door without a pistol. So there's no safety on it. It's just the safety is that I'm holding it. That's what a Glock safety is. Don't pull the trigger. You know, and if you pull the trigger, you have to be holding it for it to fire. For all you guys who don't know about guns, like, there's a safety on the grip for you to grip it. There's a safety on the trigger for your finger to go on it. And both have to be activated at the same time and pulled at the same time for the gun to fire on Glocks. That's their safety mechanism. So I've got that, and so I've got that gun in my right hand, my phone in my left, just like my phone's in my left hand now. And I stopped recording only long enough to try and call 911. She tackles me to the ground. Now we're fighting over a phone and a loaded gun, and I'm thinking one of us is gonna get shot and die. So I spin that under the bed to where she can't get to it, kick her away from me, call 911, boom. As soon as I'm on with the operator, she stops attacking. I beg for units come out, she runs away. At first they didn't take me seriously at all, but then they saw how traumatized I was and how messed up I was physically, and she it's absolutely crazy. But she was telling the cops the situation by screaming at them. She was screaming at the cops. We were trying to listen to her while I'm talking to them calmly and everything like that, saying that I'm the one starting to fight and blah, 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 blah. But by that point, there's already a warrant for her arrest, but she doesn't know it. But she's behind the wheel of a vehicle, and they want to get her out and like arrest her without a high-speed chase, and you know, because right now she's unpredictable. So she's screaming about how bad I am and how I hit her first and everything like that. And me and the cops had already talked about it. They were like, you're 4 times her size, is she gonna have any marks? I was like, nah, she gonna be spotless. I was like, I don't know what she gonna claim, but I was like, there ain't gonna be any marks, I can tell you that. And sure enough, there were not a single scratch. And so she shows up, I'm all messed up, and she's saying that I started attacking her randomly out of the blue. Just for no reason. Randomly out of the blue, for no reason. And I was like, yeah, what the fuck? So the cop's like, you know what? Let's go confront him. And she's like, yeah, good idea. Wait, are we going to the hospital? He's like, no, we're not going to the hospital. And she's like, good. And so she gets out, and he's like, you know what? You should put your stuff on top of the car before we go confront him. And she's like, yeah, good idea. And she does that, and I'm around the corner of the house. Like, when they pulled up, they made me, like, go to the side to, you know how cops are. So then she's, like, storming over to me, and he's like, ma'am, stop. And she stopped, and he's like, turn around, put your hands behind your back. She's like, you lied to me. You tricked me. And she's about, I don't know, a yard from the corner of the house. And she starts yanking on her damn arms. And they're like, stop resisting, stop resisting. And she sticks her head around the corner. She manages to look at me. And I'm like, chill, babe. Like, just go with them. I was like, I'm able to drop these charges and you're good. But don't fight the cops, because then you're in a whole other load of shit. It was like reverse psychology. The second I said that, boom. She goes off like a firecracker, resists the cops. They warn her 2 more times. Then they slam her. And they drug her to the car, kicking and screaming. And they're trying to put her in the back. And she's literally using her legs to kick off of the squad car to keep from being put in there. And it was just the craziest situation ever. She could have been charged with violence, but they said I begged them not to, and they ended up charging her without. They keep it a misdemeanor, not a felony. They were like, we know it's mental health involved and stuff like that. So they were absolutely fantastic officers. Shout out to TPD. Thank you, TPD. Real shit. But now, so my situation this past month, I'm like, okay, on the 1st, I was like, is she going to pay the rent? Because all the money is in her account, because she's teaching me how to budget right now. So what little money I had in savings is in her account. So I don't have access to it right now. And I'm like, shit, so I'm having to drive Uber every day and Lyft just to, like, put food in my mouth. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Being a survivor, adapting, guys. You do what you got to do, even if it's a bitch. I was going to say I'm way above. I'm not above anything. If I need to wash toilets to feed myself, that's what you got to do, man. If I had to walk 10 hours to get to a $10 an hour job, and that's all I could do, I'd have to do it. I mean, you have to have that kind of mentality if you want to be the best version of yourself. Like, really, you could be like a 90% version of yourself, a 75, or whatever. But if you want to be 100% of your potential, I swear to God, in the 3 years that more like 4, that I had this big mindset change, I've gone from multiple times homeless to just completely comfortable. And it's just been an absolute blessing. And what did that to me was the whole COVID. Dying from COVID twice. Dying from COVID twice changed my perception on life and what I wanted out of it and what I needed to do, things like that. And, from there, it's just history, So it's just, that kind of changed my perception about everything. So change yours. I'm serious. Not tomorrow. Start now, because your mind controls everything. It's your perception is reality. So if you change your perception, you change your reality. But anyways, I'm like, on the 1st, I'm like, is she gonna pay rent, bro? I don't know if she's gonna fucking pay rent. And I was like, because there's a no contact order shit where she is not legally allowed to talk to me without going straight to jail. And no bond, no nothing, and it gets upgraded to a felony. So that's with coming back to the apartment, coming near the car, coming near me, or coming near any place of employment of mine or anything like that. So that's in effect until the next court date, which is going to be in a few weeks still. And so now it's crazy because we just signed a fucking 5-year lease. 5-year lease. And she pulls this. And now on the first, I was like, is she going to pay the rent? Because it's her first month rent payment. She did. So I'm like, okay, she's going to get help and work this out. She realizes she's wrong and stuff like that. But yesterday, I've been leaving voicemails on her phone, like on a steady basis, just to make sure to stay in contact. Like, hey, baby, I know you can't talk to me back, but hey, I love you. This is what I'm doing today. Like, just reassuring girls stuff. Like, I'm not out there messing with other girls. Like, here's my plans. Here's what I'm doing for our lives. Like, things like that. And yesterday I went to go leave a voicemail. Her voicemail box is full. And she also, her attitude when she came to get her things was super crappy. And everything like that, which leads me to think now, I also looked yesterday, she canceled my American Express card. And I'm like, yo, okay, so her voicemail box is full. So I guess she ain't been listening to any of my messages. And my Amex is canceled. Like, am I going through a divorce now? Like, am I going through divorce? Because if so, I'm the U.S. citizen. I'm the victim of domestic battery. She's here on a victim's visa. And now she's abusing a U.S. citizen. And we are legally married. So, and the thing is she's trying to be spiteful. If I was Taiwanese in Taiwan, I'd be screwed. She could just throw me out, whatever, leave me, I'm screwed. Here in the U.S., it don't work like that. Like, you can't just, marry an American and beat the crap out of them a year into your marriage, get angry because you go to jail, and angrily try to wait out the 18 months to pass your green card date to file divorce, etc., etc., etc. That ain't gonna fly with me, girl. I don't know if that's what she's doing or not. I don't know. She's just following the law and is just gonna, once the court order gets lifted and everything, I don't know. I'll know more. But right now, I feel completely abandoned. And I have not received a call from her attorney, which is the only person that's allowed to pass messages from her to me. So I haven't received a call from her attorney concerning anything. And keep in mind, we're in the middle of a 5-year lease move. This was supposed to be not our home, our apartment. This was supposed to be our home for the next 5 years. So this was a big deal to us. And I ain't hear nothing, blah, 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 blah. So, like, it's like, I'm like, what situation am I finding myself in now? Like, okay, she paid rent this month. Great. But I think it's only because she needs a place for her cats to stay. Like, literally, I think that's the only goddamn reason, is because she needs a place for her cats to stay. Okay? And then it gets crazier than that. Then I'm like, okay, well, then if she's doing that, then she probably is going to divorce me or want a divorce, which is great. I'm cool with it. I don't want a toxic relationship. I don't like people hitting me. I don't like people screaming at me. I'm a real chill dude. I would way rather marry a real chill chick. Like, this relationship and the last one were very toxic, very abusive towards me. And I'm just over being hit. I'm over being hurt. And I'm just over it. I'm over it. So if you're gonna, like, hit me, hurt me, stuff like that, like, I'm out. And, for us guys, it's a little bit harder because you girls are so much smaller than a lot of us, and, like, it doesn't, like, it's not like fighting a dude, but, like, the blows add up, and the thing is that it builds up anger and feelings inside, and then you end up snapping, because I almost snapped the 4th time she hit me out of the 5 times, and I almost snapped when she hit me that time. And that's the danger of it. And even though, like, so that's why guys are like, oh, my girl slapped me, it didn't hurt anyway. It's like, I'm not gonna address it. I'm just gonna whatever, let her think that this is okay. I'm not gonna draw a line in the sand. Like, I'm not gonna sacrifice the relationship over a slap. You need to sacrifice the relationship over that slap, because it will lead to this. I promise you. If you let them get away, like, we are adults, we keep our hands to ourselves and we use our words to communicate. Like, and I think that's going to be like the main topic of the video today, is that whether you are a man or a woman, it is not okay to hit your partner, whether you are gay, straight, bi, trans, whatever you want, whatever kind of relationship you want to put yourself in. It is never okay to be violent towards the other person. I don't care if he's 500 pounds of muscle, okay? He could be the biggest teddy bear ever and just let you beat on him forever, which is what a lot of guys do, honestly. A lot of guys, honestly, that's what I do. I don't hit back. I don't hit women. Like, because I know one swing, I'm gonna bloody you up. Like, she's 5'2", 110. I'm like almost 6 foot, 200 pounds. So like, I'm gonna send her flying if I hit her, and I'm just not gonna. That's why men don't hit women, and that's why women shouldn't hit men, because it might make a man snap. And because her last relationship, they got in an argument. The guy ended up choking her out twice. Got pled down to attempted battery, at first he was charged with attempted murder, but then got down to 2 counts of domestic battery, dishonorable discharge, all kinds of stuff. So I was like, look at your past relationships. I was like, all the guys you date end up beating the crap out of you. Why do you think? I was like, because like you start laying hands on them and you start bugging out on them and shit like that. I was like, you can't bug out on dudes and start hitting them and stuff. I was like, you're gonna end up in bad situations. And I was like, in America, we have laws. I was like, aside from just the morality of it, we have laws here. You may not have them in Taiwan, but we are legally married, and they have laws, and you can't hit people. And she just didn't stop the pattern, man. Didn't stop the pattern. It was getting better, but she didn't stop it. And she didn't believe me whenever I said, hey, this pattern continues, you're gonna end up going to jail, and I don't even want you to, but it's out of my hands. In Florida, there's a special law that if it's a domestic, the cops automatically have to arrest one of you. So if the cops get called to domestic, automatically someone's going to jail. And I'm not the one hitting her, so, I'm the one all fucked up. So, it's kind of crazy. So, that she would do that. So she continued with that, and I'd also warned her that it's not okay to scream. Certainly not okay to scream at police. That all these things. And what do you think she ends up doing? All of these things. And she goes to jail, despite my 25 conversations I've had with her about it. And now she wants to make it out that it's my fault that she went to jail and I'm an asshole for calling the cops and stuff like that. But she doesn't realize how dangerous and toxic the relationship is because of the toxicity of her last ones. Like, does she realize that she tackled me while I was holding a loaded gun? And started fighting over a gun with me? Like, does she realize that she pulled a knife on me? Like, things like that. It's like crazy to me. And then on top of that, I'm like, okay, if she goes to file a divorce, I am just gonna look out for myself. I have to look out for myself. And I gotta ask the judge and be like, yo, is this how it works? Like, you get triggered, like, she pretends to be the perfect woman, you end up marrying her. Once you marry her, a flip switches, she turns into a psycho, starts beating the crap out of you, and this is all recorded, documented by the TPD, and on my phone, and, and you beat the crap out of your American husband then, and then after you go to jail, you blame it on him and ask for a divorce? I was like, really? Like, that's really where I'm at. And if she thinks that's how the law works in America, she's very wrong, because it's not. Like, she doesn't understand that it's going to cost her thousands of dollars for an attorney. She doesn't understand that because I'm the victim, and that you can't beat the shit out of your spouse and then divorce them for it. It kind of gives them a lot of ammo in court. You feel me? So I would just ask the judge for a continuation of all the bills. And I mean, like, if you want me to just walk away, simple, drop the charges, if you want me to drop the charges, that's a whole different ball game, because I stay protected if I keep the charges up. As long as I do not drop charges, I remain a victim, which means that I have official paperwork that says, hey, I'm a victim of domestic violence, and I can get special help that's not meant for anybody else. So, and it also allows me to speak to the judge and ask for things. So, for example, on the next court date, I can be like, hey, judge, here's what happened. Here's my situation right now. I'd like a court order for her to continue paying the rent for X amount of time. And I'd like for her to pay for my attorney fees, things like that. And because it's going to look really bad. Taiwanese woman, here on a victim's visa, marries an American after knowing them for not that long, be the perfect woman, blah, 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 blah. And then just turning into a psycho after we're married, beating the crap out of me, having a long track record. Well, I already said all this. So you guys know. Tell me what I should do. Do you guys have any advice for me? Like as far as legally and divorces and stuff like that. This is my first marriage, and I just never expected it to go like this. Like, this is the weirdest thing ever. I thought she was the perfect girl till I married her. But guys, help. Give me ideas. Give me ideas on how to protect myself. Because, like, I don't know how civil court works. I know how criminal court works. I'm very well versed in that. I got a weird hobby of watching like real crime and interrogations and stuff. So I know how that side works, but civil is completely different. So I don't know. If somebody who's been through divorces or something can maybe give me some pointers, man, that'd be awesome. All right? Now, remember, guys, change. Go out, change your mindset. And what did I say yesterday? Not tomorrow, not later, not in an hour, not in a minute. Now. Go. Change your mindset. Real shit. Change your mindset. Like, stop playing the victim. Start putting everything on your shoulders. I'm going through hell and back right now. I ain't putting it on anybody but me. I'm just, I'm literally, 30 minutes for $3 just to put food in my mouth, driving Lyft. Like, I'm making absolutely no money driving Lyft right now, but guess what? I have to, because that's how I'm surviving right now. So, yeah, you got to do what you got to do, right, guys? You adapt until your situation changes. So, until I get onboarded at my new job, I got to live. And that's just what it is. I hate it. I don't like it, but it is what it is. And that's the mindset you got to have. All right? I love y'all. Thank you for supporting me. I can't tell you how much it means to me. But I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And Mav out.